maybe I'll just demonstrate what kind of attack there could be from a Sasquatch. Don't try this at home. I don't know, looks pretty tough. G'day folks, it's DIY Guy 123 here, bringing you another do-it-yourself video. Today we're going to be looking at building a chicken tractor. I don't have any experience doing this, and I would appreciate any feedback people have about what I'm going to do and better ways to do it. And I'm not saying this is the only way or even the best way to do it, but it is the way I'm going to do it. So my goal was to build this chicken tractor out of basically scrap materials that were kicking around, so my cost would be $0. Someone on a local classified site was giving away this chain link fencing because it was rusty, and so they didn't want to use it anymore, so they gave me a roll, so that's not going to cost me anything. And these green pieces here, these are actually the tops of a piece of industrial racking. And so even though I did buy the racking, I got it at a metal recycling place, so I got it pretty cheap. And I had to cut off the top of it. It was 16 feet tall, and I cut off the top like 5 feet I guess, because I didn't need it that high. And it was, so therefore the top was just sitting in my scrap metal pile. And here is the top of it on its side, of course. It wasn't being used for anything. The reason why I've put it on its side is because it's now longer this way than it is this way, and so it would provide a larger surface area for the chickens to be on the ground. We have a pretty high predator pressure rate around here, and a lot of raccoons and skunks. I've heard local people have lost a lot of chickens too, and they say, you know, it only takes one night to forget to close the gate or close the coop door, that kind of stuff. And I just don't want to take the chance on that. So I am wrapping the entire, like even underneath the floor, with chain link mesh, chain link fencing. And we'll see how that goes. So I will be checking the chickens' feet periodically to see if they, you know, look like they're agitated or sore or anything like that. And I guess adjust as we go. But this is the only way, I believe, to protect chickens from predators that can dig. All right, I'll be back at you in a minute. Okay, so very quick update. So there I'm showing the bolt that goes through, and it's got a washer and a nut on the bottom end. There was a bit of racking back and forth when you'd push, say, in the top of it, you push this way. So I put this wood crisscross in there and then attached it to the metal. I had to drill and screw into the wood. And then, of course, where the wood is running like this, I screwed in the middle, and that just locks it all up. And now this thing is very rigid. I've wrapped the whole thing with chain link fencing. And the cool thing about this fencing is you can unscrew it. You can certainly see the end where my hand is getting longer. Just unscrews. And you can use this to take a 10-foot section and make 2 5-foot sections out of it by removing one of these. Or you can take 2 short pieces and put them together and stitch them together by threading this in. And that's the way I've secured, where there was one piece of fence and then another piece of fence and they overlapped here. I've screwed it down or threaded it down all the way, and when the friction got too much for twisting it in like that, I'd stop, tie it off, and then you start a new piece and carry on. So I've done that around the whole perimeter, wherever the fencing, you know, wherever 2 sections of fencing met up, I did that. You can see the threaded piece is a different color than the rusted stuff. So gone around the whole thing, and so basically, I think I could put like a tiger in here from the zoo. What I'm left now with is, how do I make a hatch that is secure enough that predator can't get into? And really, I'm not worried about foxes at this point because they're not really strong. They can jump and so on, but any kind of a cover I think would keep a fox out. But raccoons are very strong. And you know, you think, oh, I could put like a 10-pound hatch or a 20-pound hatch. They'll lift and pry and bend things they're very strong. So I've got to figure out somehow to get a hatch in there that's going to be quite secure. So that's the stage I'm in. Okay, so this project is getting out of hand, really. It's so heavy now, like I can lift it in, but that's with flat ground, perfect on concrete. You know, if this is in a field where there's grass growing up around it, I'd never be able to move that, I don't think. Maybe two people could move one end of it. But anyway, so I'm pretty sure the only way I'm going to be moving this thing is with the tractor. But here's what it is. So one thing I've noticed, I've seen other videos where like raccoons and certain types of cats will reach in through the mesh and they'll grab a chicken, and then chickens are too dumb. They'll stay right beside the edge of the fence and wait for something to grab them, even if they hear their buddy getting chewed like 3 inches away. So I've built this little roost, pretty basic, that they can just be on that roost, and it's about 18 inches, you know, away from this end, and the same on the other end, and it's away from the walls. So my hope is that that's the tallest part in the coop, and the chickens will go on to there. I don't know about Meat Kings if they like to roost or if they're just too fat and they lie on the ground. And I put a couple of hooks here, one there and one over there, so that I can hang food and water. And I'd rather have it off of the ground. For one, it gives chickens more room to move around, and anyway, just like to have it up. And then I put this tarp here, tied it around. It's not the best thing. It was an 8 foot by 8 foot tarp, and of course it won't go down all the way, but it'll provide enough, certainly shade and rain and hopefully enough wind cover for them. And then this lid here, this is a pretty heavy thing. I can take care of it myself, but it's not the easiest to open and shut. I'll just show you here. So it goes down. It's pretty heavy. That might be good, like if a raccoon's trying to get in there, they're gonna have to lift this. So that's probably good 15-20 pounds that I'm having to lift there, and I'm gonna put something heavy on top of it. And also I've got this handle, I can tie that down too. So add all that up, I don't imagine anybody's gonna get in that way. And then I also have this rope. So when I lift this thing, I'm hoping that it lifts without too much drama. I'm calling this the Sasquatch proof chicken tractor. Maybe I'll just demonstrate what kind of attack there could be from a Sasquatch. Don't try this at home. I don't know, looks pretty tough. Okay, let's see how it works out down in the field. Okay, so we've brought the chicken tractor down into the field. We used the big tractor to transport it. And we have our roosting bar set up. And there's lots of shade in there, that's for sure. And we put one chicken in to just see how he likes it. And there was no response at this point, whether or not it was an enjoyable environment. We're still waiting. But we're just kind of curious. It's not going to stay there. We don't have food and water in there yet. And it's actually going to be pretty cold tonight. So tonight will be the last night they stay indoors. However, we have successfully implemented a chicken tractor. I was hoping the grass would poke up more through the mesh than it is. Oh, yeah, okay. And so I want to keep an eye on that. I definitely don't want to have birds with injured feet, so I'll be watching for that. As much as I'm eventually going to eat these things, I want them to have as nice a life as possible. So we'll keep an eye on that. And again, where the roosting bar is in the middle, even if a raccoon reached in from the sides, it wouldn't be able to get at the birds. Okay, so here we are. We've had the chickens in the chicken tractor for a couple days here, and they seem to like it. Well, they haven't opened any official complaints through the online complaint process website or anything, so I think they're probably happy in there. This chicken tractor is absolutely too heavy, and so we need an actual Kubota tractor to move this chicken tractor. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to pick it up, move it off to the side a little bit, and that way it sort of gets them out of their poop, and it also gives them some new grass to play with. And the other thing too is where the bottom of that tractor has mesh on it, I'm going to lower it down extremely carefully and slowly so that it doesn't pinch any of their feet or their toes. So we're going to just see how that goes. Okay, so we got it lifted up. They're going for a bit of a ride. That's the end of this video. If you like my videos, please subscribe.